People with dry or sensitive skin often describe it the same way: unpredictable. It's good one week, then suddenly it's not. Something feels fine for a while, and then without warning, it doesn't. There's no clear reason, no obvious trigger. The skin just changes. For many people, this creates confusion first, and then frustration, because nothing ever feels steady for long. The skin never feels settled. It can feel like it has a mind of its own, like it keeps changing the rules. And that feeling alone can be exhausting. When this happens, most people reach the same conclusion: the product failed. That thought makes sense. If something stops feeling good, it must not be right anymore. So it gets paused or replaced or set aside just in case, and something else takes its place. At first, this feels responsible, like paying attention, like protecting the skin. But over time, this pattern repeats so often that it becomes invisible. Try something. Feel hopeful. Then notice dryness, tightness, discomfort. Confidence starts to fade, the product gets blamed, and the search begins again. Many people don't notice how often this cycle happens. They only notice how tired it feels. Tired of guessing, tired of watching closely, tired of starting over. Look around, and the pattern is everywhere. Half-used bottles, jars that worked for a bit, products that weren't terrible but never felt proven. Nothing feels reliable, not because everything failed, but because nothing stayed long enough to earn trust. This is where the mental weight builds. Every new product carries a small hope and a quiet fear. How long will this one last? When will it change again? The skin becomes something to monitor, almost too closely. Over time, choosing feels heavy and trying feels risky. There's a sense of being done, not from lack of care, but from too many resets. What often goes unnoticed is something simple. The skin isn't only reacting to products, it's reacting to change itself. Dry and sensitive skin responds to repetition. Not perfection, not constant improvement, just repetition. But repetition rarely gets a chance to happen. Most people stop when discomfort appears. They pause, they switch, they restart, and each time, the timeline resets. From the skin's point of view, nothing lasts very long. Just as something begins to feel familiar, it changes again. The skin never gets the chance to settle. Not because it can't, but because consistency keeps getting interrupted. This isn't failure. It's a pattern, and it's a very human one. Switching feels logical. When something feels wrong, changing it feels protective. But over time, constant change creates instability. Not because of what's used, but because of how often things change. Progress feels unclear. There's no solid reference point, nothing long enough to trust. So the skin stays in a state of almost calm, almost okay, then reset. With every reset, confidence fades a little more, not just in products, but in judgment. Many people stop knowing what normal feels like, because normal never lasts. This can feel personal, as if the skin is fragile or difficult. But there's another way to see it. Stability isn't about perfect days, it's about predictability. Predictability means fewer surprises, not no discomfort, just fewer resets. When nothing stays the same, nothing becomes familiar. And without familiarity, trust can't form. Many people have never seen what happens when nothing changes for a while. Not because they did something wrong, but because discomfort taught them to move. This isn't about blame. It's about seeing the cycle clearly. And when the cycle becomes visible, some of the pressure lifts. The skin doesn't feel broken anymore. It feels unsettled. There's a difference. Unsettled skin isn't failing. It's responding to interruption. That understanding alone can bring relief. Not excitement, not urgency, just relief. When something finally makes sense, it feels lighter. This is where relief begins. If this perspective helped you see your skin differently, I'd really appreciate it if you liked this video. And if you're ready to try a different approach, one built around consistency instead of constant change, I've put together some resources in the description below. They might be exactly what you've been looking for. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.